What is going on, guys? DBG here, and today it's been a while. It's been a little bit of time. So all the packs are gone. There's only Black Friday packs, which are still pretty, still these Black Friday packs had been the best odds until the freaking limited time packs. But lads, we're going to take a look at the auction house right now. We're going to take a look at the auctions. Now, first player we're going to look at is George Mikan. We're just going to see what this has done to the auction house, so I can just see what it has done to George Mikan. So I just want to see what his price is looking like. Because if you guys don't know what we did with George Mikan, I spent a lot of time trading George Mikans. So basically the price, so George Mikan is stabilized by the looks of it at 40. So basically when I was buying and selling, this Mikan was at 40. And this Mikan here was at like 45. So I mean, I could sell this one for like 46,000 now. I'm happy with that because I bought this one for like 30. I bought these for like 28, 30. These tanked, but they're gone up a little bit. So let me just, because I don't know what the hell is going to happen to like George Mikan's price. What the hell they're going to do with super packs. So I might as well just sell these while I can. So again, we sell George Mikan. We're going to be sitting here nice and comfortably above the 300 or the 440 ish. They're going to be at just above 440 in terms of our empty, which is really, really good. And then we also have, if you guys don't know, another George Mikan sitting in the collection. So let's take a look. I heard amethysts are so cheap. I heard you're getting like elite 2,000 amethysts because of everyone just selling. Like Hondo is 2k. Like I sold my Hondo for 3.5k yesterday, and I thought like, okay, I'm selling him for cheap. Bruce Bowen is 2k. Bruce Bowen's that's a half clamps Bruce Bowen for 2,000 coins. 70. Oh yeah, that's why Hondo's so cheap. The 75th one was in those packs, and then Bill Lambier Mask was in the pack as well. Because I was like, Hondo was not in the glitch packs, but because of the other Hondo being in it, what packs were Bowen in? I don't remember Bowen being in packs today. Poor Yoke is just kind of sitting there out there by himself. Corver at 1750. 1800 for Middleton. 2k for Cat. Do I want to buy Middleton? I think I might. Like, I kind of want Middleton. I kind of want him. I also kind of want Corver at 1750. Or, yeah. I'll take an 1800 Corver. Like, I didn't like Corver at 10k, but I mean, I kind of like him at 1800. And then I'm going to buy half clamps Bruce Bowen, honestly. And these are guys that like, they might go down in price, but I just kind of want them on my collection. They're good for theme squads. Like, all of these guys, like, Bruce Bowen was on the Spurs team. If I'm ever doing an all-time Spurs, if I ever want to do a Hall of Fame clamps lineup. Chris Middleton, if I want to do something like underrated players, not only in 2K or underrated players in the NBA. Or if I want to do like a Team USA team, because you just never know when Middleton's going to get another card. Sometimes 2K. Last year 2K was so stingy. It was literally Middleton. Lock Innerwood, Diamond Exchange for stupid value. Like, that's how you got Chris Middleton last year. But Corver as well. Again, like all-time three-point shooting, things like that. He works, and for that price, I mean, you can't really go wrong with that. So let's just check what the cheapest diamonds are. I don't think Ruby's probably didn't take a hit. At 12k. So, oh yeah, he dropped a lot. Surely the Jet is probably close to that. It's like as I was looking, it was like AK didn't drop. Every one of those fucking packs must have been along in the morning. Like, every one of those packs must have been morning. Which was Rashawn Holmes is 12k. Okay. I think LeBron was like 15 before today. Ooh. 11k for Aldridge. I like Aldridge. Oh, I like this Aldridge. I was about to say, I don't like the other one. I like this Aldridge. This Aldridge, 5 Hall of Fame badge, half Dream Shake, half post spin technician. Like, if I didn't have a pretty much God squad right now, I'd consider using him. Kyle Lowry's cheap. Kevin Durant, if you want to use a version of him, because he still has like shifty and stuff, he's cheap. So diamonds are pretty damn cheap as well. Let's check out rubies, how cheap we can get rubies. Like, is there an under 1,000 ruby? Okay, Landry Fields is under 1,000. Landry Fields 1,000 MT. Oh my god. Kevin Herter is 1,000. OJ, fair enough, OJ Mayo, but Kevin Herter is 900 MT. Lads, what is going on? Like, everyone's just trying to sell all their cards. Like, I get a lot of these guys being cheap, but like Lou Dort, all the good rubies not named Marcus Smart. I know, like Sadiq Bey and stuff. But I'd say there are an awful lot of good rubies. So even the rubies are going, even the rubies that haven't been in any of these packs, people are just selling all their cards trying to get these more expensive cards. You've been seeing it, like Herder, one of the best value cards in the game right now. But like 1,000 MT for a Fields card that can still compete to this day. Like Fields, whatever, like Herder's a purely offense. Fields is 900 MT. Oh my god. I'm just sitting here like, what the hell? Scrolling through these rubies, fair enough. Like, again, the new guys in packs are always going to be low. Why is Fields so cheap? Has he been in some packs? Poku for 900 now, as we're scrolling down. And most cards in this game have taken a big hit today. I want to check out Marcus Smart to see what type of hit he's taken. It's like under 1,000. You're still getting Point Center, Jabari Parker. You're getting a Manu Ginobili for a K. I get it. He's not good, but he's still the best Manu we have. And a lot of people like Manu Ginobili. Let's see. Let's scroll to the... We're at the 4-hour mark. Let's see, are there any crazy rubies here? There's no point to making these any of my investments either, because they're all in guaranteed packs. Except for Poku, and Poku doesn't seem... 950. To be fair, RJ Barrett, I think it was only 1,000. 950 again for James Worthy. That seems to be it. There doesn't seem to be any crazy ones down here at the 4-hour mark. Now let's see what the cheapest pink diamonds are. Yeah, and I don't really own that many pink diamonds. Can you get any for sub 30? Like, the pack of pink diamonds is still above 30 when there was like 10,000 of them added onto the market. Like, it's kind of crazy. And is it just Gilbert Arenas under 40? Wow, Jace, there was a lot more Jason Kidds at this price earlier today. Cards seem to be creeping back. No, they seem to have settled. They seem to have settled right now. They haven't hit their way back up. And they haven't started creeping back up either, really. Like, some of them did. Like, they obviously had their initial dip. They're creeping back up as well. Let's see what John Wall is looking like. Where's Wall? Oh my god, Wall suddenly... How did Wall remain the same price? I saw Walls ending for 120k an hour ago. Because now suddenly there are way more John Walls on the market. How the hell is there this much like interest in a... Maybe I mustn't have seen it right, because this seems to be where Wall's like naturally ending. Because you can see here with Wall, maybe this is like the start of it, because you can see here with Wall, it's like 7 or 8 ending in the minute. So that'll be a super interesting one to see how these Walls, all these John Walls end. That would actually be super interesting, because there's like 10 of them ending in the minute. Marcus Smart is another card that I'm very interested in, because this is like your starter card, as in if you're getting the game and you have any sort of idea what you're doing in the game, you'll get a Marcus Smart. You'll ignore the Westbrooks, you'll ignore the Gilbert Arenas, you'll go and get yourself a Marcus Smart. So he was like 7.5k yesterday. So we'll see what he's dropped to. Okay, so he's back to his day one price by the looks of things. He's back to the way he was on day one. So again, yeah, he's above 4.5k. So he seems to be back to what he was this day last week. Maybe a little bit, because this day last week he was about 5k. So he's a little bit more expensive than he was this day last week. He's about... we missed him. So he's still an okay price. Like, it's still an absolute no-brainer to buy Marcus Smart. He just didn't appear in any packs today. Or did he? I think he only appeared in these packs, actually. Yeah, these were guaranteed, and there was only a 21% chance of getting rubies. So he, like, Smart didn't appear in any packs today. So that's why I was kind of shocked at certain rubies. The fact that these rubies, despite not being in packs, went down in price is kind of crazy. It's literally just for people selling off their collections. People trying to sell off their collections to buy other cards, which is a bit nuts. Another card that really, really tanked was Chris Webber. Like, Chris Webber was my... He would have, like... If I didn't have, like, Mike who's better and Kevin Garnett, like, I would consider running Chris Webber even right now. Like, he went below 50. I just want to see what his actual price is now, because he actually did drop below 50, which is kind of crazy. Okay, so he's stabilized at a little bit above. So what seems to have happened is the players nosedived. Okay, so he is below 50, yeah. The players nosedived, and then they either stabilized or went back up very slightly, but they didn't go back up a huge amount. Like, again, if I didn't have Mike, and 46k for Weber would be a good buy. For me, I can't justify using Weber. As much as I do love Hot Rebound Chaser and Post Spin Technician and stuff, I cannot justify using Weber over Mike. I really can't. Is Arvydas Sabonis? Is he gone back? Like, Arvydas Sabonis, he's kind of fluctuated. Like, he actually went quickly under the 100, and now he's right back over. But again, this is one pre these super packs. These are all pre-super, are they? Yeah, so it was super packs for an hour ago. So you can see suddenly here there's like 5, 6, 7 of these ending in the 1 minute. So you can see obviously the first Sabonis are ending at 300. Like, would not be surprised if you really want to pick up an Arvydas Sabonis. I would do it maybe kind of an hour from now. Well, an hour from now, right now, probably like 30-ish minutes at 3 a.m. my time, which is 10 p.m. Eastern time. That's probably the go-to. That would be like the main time if you want to get any of these insert players. It's like if you want to buy Sabonis or you want to buy a Jason Tatum, that is personally what I would do for Sabonis or Tatum, because it has been a as you can see, Tatum sitting at like 200k, but if you look at an hour from now at Jason Tatum, I'm just looking at his rubies, so you can see he's like 200k. If you look at an hour now from Tatum, wow, no one pulled Tatum in these packs, did they? Wait a minute. Sorry. My brain just went to mush. Like 3 minutes. Okay, yeah. There's like 10 of them ending in a minute. So like, I wouldn't be surprised if around this time they're ending at the 100k. That would be my prediction, is you will be able to get Tatums for cheap. I think you might be around 150 max, but like if you really want to Tatum, this is a decent time, because as you guys can see here, like you're gonna need 200k to buy another Tatum, whereas you can get one of these Tatums for 100, which is really solid, which is actually a really, really solid price. Okay, was it just I'm trying to think of any of the other, was these Marcus Gasol is another one that I just want to see, because some of these guys may not have been packed. So it seems like Marcus Gasol has been packed quite a bit anyway as well. So 3 hours, like you can see how rare Marcus Gasol has been so rare. That's why this one's 230k. But then you can just see like he's definitely packed the least. Marcus Gasol is definitely packed the least of all these cards, but he is probably the best in them. So yeah, it's one of those things, like look at the likes of Gasol and stuff. It's all like, all these cards are about supply and demand. Like it really is about how many of them are on the market based on, or compared to how many people want the cards. And I think at this time right here, there are people that are going to want Marcus Gasol. But like for this like 5 minutes with him, Sabonis, Tatum maybe not so much, because people really will want Tatum. But for Gasol and Sabonis, a lot of they're good cards, but a lot of the reason why their prices are so high is because they were so rare. But now they are, not only are they not rare, they're some of the most common pink diamonds in the market. So I can't see Sabonis ever going to, or Sabonis or Gasol going to a buyout, but I can see I just need to make sure about that. I don't think they'll go to a buyout. Yeah, but I can see you being able to buy them at 100k at that 4 hour mark. I was about to say, like, it doesn't matter, like the cards are going to be done at like 5 a.m. at midnight Eastern. So if you really want to get them, that is the best time. So now I'm actually just very, very interested in seeing how long it is for this John Wall. These walls are in at like 276k. So these 3 minutes. I just want to see what these walls end, because you can see there's like 10 finishing in a minute. I want to see how these end. These wall was like 400k. So we haven't even hit the big thing for wall, and he's ending at about 250,000, which is, it's still more than I would have thought. I thought maybe you would be able to pick a wall for like 150 because there were so many of them. But either way, wall's not even good. Wall is not even good. Give me Marcus Smart, give me Steve Francis, give me Gary Payton, give me John Morant all over John Wall. Yeah, so we're just gonna wait out those 3 minutes. Any other interesting cards that I want to check? Klay Thompson. Because Klay is a card that a lot of people are really interested in. So Klay, you're still seeing Klay at 200. And the big reason for why Klay specifically has stayed roughly as priced, like he was 300. So the reason why Klay has stayed very, very high, even though the supply is high on Klay, you can see how many of them there are, the demand is also high. And that's maybe the reason why John Wall will stay higher than some people, is that while the supply has increased for Klay, the demand has always been, the reason why he was so high priced was that the demand was greater than the supply. And now the supply is way up on Klay, but the demand still outweighs the supply. Not by as much as it did previously, but the demand still outweighs the supply. So, especially with 250 coming up. So that's why someone like a Klay is really sticking to his value. Whereas someone like someone like an Isaiah Thomas, he didn't stick to his value. So it's Isaiah Thomas, yeah. Like someone like him, he went from 40, and like you can pretty easily get the guy for 20k. Like he was like 40k before today. The reason is that we've so many good point guards that even though that the supply went up on an IT, but the demand is pretty much, it's lower, especially because we got Ja. The demand is lower on Isaiah Thomas than it has been the last couple of days. So now we're going to have a look at John Wall. And I'm going to be looking at all these tomorrow, by the way. And we're going to be comparing them all. So I want to see, these are all, people are still putting high bids on all of these John Walls. That is crazy. How, I did not realize the demand for John Wall was going to be this high. Like, I get it. Like, he is still down he's still down 150k. Like, it's not like John Wall is the same price he was prior to all this, but he is still so expensive. And again, just like the Klay Thompson, the demand must be high. And I don't understand why the demand is so high on John Wall. I get it, he's a half quick for a step and base dribble style with like 99 speed. Like, it's not like he's slow. Like, base dribble style, if he had slasher, then it would be a real problem. I get it. But, like, he can't really burst. Even Ty, who's his biggest fan, no longer rates the card that highly. Like, Penny is really that dude. Like, I would half consider using Penny in 250 tomorrow, to be honest. I really would consider that. But yeah, let's see. Let's scroll out and go back in. They're all in at 250,000. I'm shocked. I'm shocked. Even with them all in at the same time, they're all. So this is going to end, say, at like 237 on these ones. I'm just going to keep refreshing to see how we are in a minute. So these are like 230. Oh, crap. John. There's too many Johns. John Wall. Pink Diamond. Okay, so 230 here. And you can see 218 here. So let's see what this 218 one ends at. Because it does seem like he is dropping a little bit in this spell right here. So yeah, you can see one end at 227 compared to like the 260s. Obviously one end went up to 235. So he's dropped about 30k than if you had bought him 5 minutes ago. But he has not dropped what I thought. So we've gone through now all the John. You see that one ended at 215. And then all the John Walls for a minute, and now it's back to kind of normal service resumed. Even though there are a couple ending together, there's no longer like 6 in a minute. So, I mean, John Wall did probably drop about 30 to 40k with that, and then his price pretty much halved from the 400k that he was prior. But I just honestly thought with packs where there was a 1 in 5 chance of getting John Wall that his price was going to drop even more. I'm sorry, I genuinely thought I genuinely thought that his price was going to drop more. So yeah, that is pretty much it, lads. That is pretty much it. So basically what ended up happening is a lot of the non-sought after players have really tanked. A lot of the sought after players will tank for a stage. I think it won't be long. Wall will never hit his heights again, but he's going to creep back up. We saw Mycan creep back up. Both versions of Mycan were on the 30k at one stage. They both creep back up to like 40/50k. Even the stage where like this George Mycan still hasn't even sold. They've all creeped back up in price. So it'll be interesting to see tomorrow. The market will never recover fully, but it will recover to an extent. Super packs Monday, if they come out, no one's going to buy them. Let's be real. So the market will recover to an extent. The market on the likes of rubies will go back up, because we saw with Marcus Smart there, like he's still pretty rare. People just don't have as much MT anymore, and they're trying to sell off their Marcus Smarts and undercutting each other, trying to like maybe, for example, someone selling their Smart to get a John Wall. Scenarios like, obviously you have to sell a lot more other things, but scenarios like that are happening, which is why those cards have dropped. This is the biggest market crash we've ever had in a 2K game. Period. Point blank period. This is the biggest market crash we've ever had. And I will look at this tomorrow. If this was not a 250k weekend, the market would have crashed so much harder. If 250k was not happening, and there were not the couple of thousand people that were trying to get their best cards possible, the likes of Clay and John Wall would have tanked even further. So it's an interesting one. So 2K made millions today. They made absolutely millions today without even releasing any cards. So kind of give them props for at least knowing how to make money. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That is a breakdown of what has happened to the market. Every card has dropped at least somewhat in price, because pretty much every card was in packs. And even the cards that weren't in packs are dropped because other cards have gone down in price and people are trying to sell to get MT for those other cards. Cards that won't be affected long term by this are guys that weren't in packs. But all of those limited insert cards, they're never going back to where they were. The Marcus Sauls of the world, the Arvidas Sabonis of the world, they're never going back to where they were, because their whole price is based off scarcity. And any card previously that's price is based off scarcity is not going to go back up in price. Just like Masked KD is not going to go back up to what he was. The masked versus unmasked versions of cards are going to cost the exact same price now. Like, there is no more premium for masks. And even in some situations, the masked will be cheaper than the unmasked. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.